Welcome to mindfoodsteph, where we talk all things psychology, health, and well-being. Welcome to part 3 of the Stress and Binge Eating Series. In part 2, we spoke about where emotional eating comes from, the subconscious mind, and we also learned about the flight or fight system in your brain. For homework, you are required to practice your breathing. In part 3, we are going to continue the break strategy to end binge and emotional eating. And we are also going to talk about something called flat Tyre Syndrome. The R, it stands for recognize any triggers, any thoughts or feelings. So I want you to think, what am I thinking right now? What emotion am I feeling? What thoughts are going through my head? So if we go back to the example of the lady sitting at her computer and she gets an email from her boss that he wants to set up a meeting with her, she might be thinking, oh my goodness, what is this meeting about? She might be feeling stressed and worried. She might be feeling a pounding heart. Remember, awareness precedes change. So you want to become aware of how we're thinking and feeling right now in this moment. E. The E in my break acronym stands for evaluate and edit any unhelpful thoughts. So I want you to evaluate your thoughts. So instead of getting a thought and thinking, my boss wants to fire me, I want you to literally get the thought out of your head and put it in front of you like it's a ball you're observing. And I want you to observe the thoughts and say, well, when I evaluate that thought, I want you to evaluate any evidence for or against that thought. So what evidence does this lady have that her boss is going to fire her? Well, actually, she's been doing really good. Well, the evidence is the last time he called a meeting, it actually was a positive one and he wanted her to work on another project. So that's evidence against the thought. And so instead of thinking, oh gosh, my boss emailed me, so he's going to get rid of me, I want you to edit that thought to something more effective. It is not thinking about positive all the time. That is BS. It's actually about thinking effectively. Because, for example, you never know, maybe something bad did happen at work, but thinking that is not effective. So what I want you to do instead is think, okay, my boss has called a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but it's not effective for me to think negatively about it. In fact, maybe it's a positive meeting. Now, the A in break is action. I want you to take alternative, effective action. So instead of going to the fridge, I want you to either go for a 10-minute walk, phone a friend, journal, do some mindfulness, but take an action that is effective, that isn't just mindlessly eating. Take an action that's conscious, that has your full awareness. But I like to remove myself from the situation. So if I find myself standing in front of the fridge thinking, oh gosh, what am I doing? I literally will take action. I'll remove myself physically from that situation. Now, the last letter in the break acronym is the K, and that stands for kindness to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Research has shown that self-compassion gets you more in life than self-deprecation. When you say to yourself, it's okay, yes, I did eat a little bit too much, but life goes on, there's other things that can be happening. Be kind to yourself, especially when it comes to food and your mood. I get it. Food makes you feel comfort. You've learned that from a child. I love eating. I love it so much. But I love it so much that I want to eat mindfully and in the moment and enjoy my food. I don't want to eat very quickly because I feel guilty about what I'm eating. And that's something you should remember too. But what I want you to remember is this. Honor your food decisions and enjoy them. The guilt, the emotional turmoil, and the shame, it comes from when you eat something that you don't own. Honor your food choices. So if you're going to enjoy a choc chip hot cross bun, you own that and say, I'm going to enjoy a choc chip hot cross bun. What's the point eating something if you're going to feel horrible about it? Now remember, guilt leads to cortisol, which leads to potential weight gain. So you have nothing to gain emotionally from feeling guilty about food. Honor it and own it. Final tips to avoid stress and binge eating are as follows. Number 1 is eat regularly. I cannot emphasize this enough, and I tell this to all my clients. Restriction leads to binge. If you are restricting yourself from something like sweets, carbohydrates, you are going to binge on it. So in order to not restrict, eat regularly. Try to have 3 meals and 2 to 3 snacks a day. When you eat within 4-hour increments, you are not going to feel hungry and you're not going to be tempted to binge, okay? So remember, don't restrict your food. Second tip and awareness that you need to know, don't punish yourself by breaking a dietary rule. So one of the triggers that facilitates stress eating or binge eating is breaking a dietary rule. So for example, I might have one hot cross bun and I think, oh God, I was meant to be on the F45 challenge. What am I doing? I might as well just eat another one. Oh crap, now I've had 2. I might as well have had 3. And then before you know it, the whole packet is gone. That's something I refer to as flat tire syndrome. So you're driving along the freeway and all of a sudden one of your tires bursts, right? That's the hot cross bun you ate. But then what you do is you think, well, one of my tires is burst. I'm going to get out, and you slash your other 3 tires. Sounds ridiculous, right? Because you would have gotten further with one dodgy tire, but now you've completely depleted your tires. And same comes with emotional eating. People develop this belief that when they break a dietary rule, such as eating something they think they shouldn't be eating, think, oh gosh, I've stuffed up, then they go AWOL. They have not only 1, but 2 bags. Like I said, even if you slip, even if you have a binge, it's okay. You know, overeating at one time isn't going to negatively affect your life. It's when it sort of becomes a habit. Just be okay that it can happen. But the goal of this and this video is to let you know that if you implement my strategies, even if you do binge, which you probably will, we all do, it's no longer going to be distressing for you. So number 1 is learn to recognize the difference between stress hunger, emotional hunger, and real hunger. If you get a hunger urge, ask yourself, you know, what else am I feeling? Did something just happen? Or is this in my tummy? Am I genuinely really hungry? Would I eat an apple right now? Step number 2 is if you do find yourself wanting to emotional eat or stress eat, use my BREAK acronym. So number 1 is breathe. Now remember, with the breathing, deep from the diaphragm. Recognize any triggers, any thoughts or any feelings. So E, evaluate and edit any unhealthy thoughts. A, take action, take effective, immediate action. And K is be kind to yourself. Remember, the more likely you be kind to yourself, the less likely you are to binge and engage in unhealthy strategies. And then finally, do not engage in flat tire syndrome. If you eat something that is, you know, not in line with your goals, accept it and honor it. Like, whoops, ate a Lindt chocolate. Wasn't on my plan, but it was damn tasty. But now I'm going to move on with my life because my life is more than eating Lindt chocolate. So using my break strategy, you will get on top of your stress eating, I promise you. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you comment. Your feedback is very valuable to me. Have a great day, have a great week, and remember, stay effective.